Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be ranking all 37 Eurovision 2025 songs using that infamous YouTube grade-based chart system. If you live under a rock and you don't know what I'm talking about, basically the way that this chart works is if we're dealing with an entry that is absolutely incredible, chef's kiss, cream of the crop, it's going to be placed in the S tier, which means it is superior. On the other hand, if it is absolutely diabolical, it's going to go in the F category for fucking horrible. Hopefully I don't have to put anything there. What am I talking about? Of course I'm going to put something there. I'm a cold-hearted bitch. The way that I'm going to do this is we're going to go through each and every one of the 37 entries. We're going to dissect the lyrics, the melody, how unique is the entry, what is the vocals like, all of the above. And then from there, I will come to a conclusion about how I view the overall entry, and I will give it either an S, an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F.
I'm sorry. 0 points.
As you all know, my opinions matter most. It's objective reality, it's fact, so no need to drop in the comment. No, I'm kidding. Drop in the comments your thoughts at the end of the video in terms of how you would rank the different entries, whether you agree with me, whether you disagree with me. And before we get into it, make sure to subscribe, click the notification bell, and like this video. This is going to be a long one, so without further ado, let's get into it. So first up is Albania, and this is truly our ethnic bop of Eurovision 2025. There are so many things, in my opinion, that are working well for Albania at Eurovision this year, and I think that's why we're seeing Albania higher in the odds than maybe we've ever seen them. First off, it is so crucial at Eurovision to stand out amongst the sea of songs, and with Albania, it sounds unlike any other entry. They're using instruments we're not hearing from any of the other songs. The melody is so unique, it is so mysterious, it goes in directions that are really, really surprising and unexpected. And so that works to its benefit because it's really not competing with any other entry this year at all. On top of that too, it is so crucial at Eurovision to have a song that is, a song that you either want to dance to or you want to clap along to, or that is really easy to sing along to. And I feel like with Albania, you're getting all of that. Yeah, it's one of those entries where it's like, if you're not just moving your body while you're listening to it, feeling the groovy beat, and then on top of that too, just going like, shit, whatever she's saying, I don't know what she's saying, I really should, I don't know, it's so disrespectful, but I hear just shit. And then on top of that, I mean, the guy, I know a lot of people do not like his involvement in the song, but for me, it is giving Eurovision. It is so random, it's so funny. He looks like Gru, and no, that is not a read. I think Gru is attractive. He's in the background, he's doing his little percussion moment. It's kind of giving Go Girl Give Us Nothing, but I live for it. And then that verse where he's doing those low mumbles or whatever you want to call it, it sends shivers down my spine. I am transfixed. I'll admit, when I first listened to the song, I wasn't a fan, but it has grown on me like a motherfucking wart, and as a result, I'm gonna put it in the B tier. Next up is Ireland. Now, Ireland's a funny one because if you would have told me last year that there would be a song in this competition for 2025 about a dead Soviet space dog named Laika, and the song would be called Like a Party, I wouldn't have believed you. And then on top of that, if you would have told me that it's an upbeat number, but it also would have made me feel very sad and on the verge of tears, I would have said you're a fucking liar. But here we are. This is 2025, baby, and I gotta say, I like it. I like it. It is a typical pop song. It's not doing anything melodically that is really groundbreaking, but at the same time too, I gotta give the song its flowers because the vocalist is super unique. I love that like baby voice. It's very transfixing for me. And when she performs, I'm just like, I'm locked in. I'm just like almost hypnotized. When I was younger, my mom used to hate when I watched this show called the Teletubbies. I don't know if it's a thing in Europe, but it is a big thing in Canada. And for some reason, that TV show had the same effect on me that this song does. Whenever Tinky Winky, Dipsy, Lala, and Poe were dancing, singing, having a good time, my 3-year-old brain, nothing else existed in the world except the frickin' Teletubbies. And that's how I feel about Like a Party. Musical masterpiece, absolutely not. Eurovision winner, absolutely not. But like, consuming my brain when it's on, definitely. And for that alone, I'll give it a C. Not bad, but like, it's not doing anything incredible either. I told you I'm harsh. Don't come for me. Next up is Belgium. Now this one is interesting because at one point Belgium was #1 in the odds. On top of that too, when Red Sebastian won his national final, he didn't just like win, he won by a freaking landslide. And this is always a good sign. When someone wins their national final, leaps and bounds ahead of like second place, let's say, you know, they usually get results like Karia or Baby Lasagna, and those two acts, for example, also won their national finals by a crazy amount. So I would not discount Red Sebastian in this competition. What I like about this entry is it is doing something that is not being done by any other act at Eurovision this year. It's a genre that isn't often touched at Eurovision, and on top of that too, I think it's done in a very, very compelling way. It's very moody, it's very dark, it kind of reminds me a little bit of like an Adam Lambert song circa 2013, but like, you know, for 2025. On top of that too, the vocals never falter in any live performance, and this is not one of those like, you know, no shade, but it's not an espresso macchiato type of song where it's really easy vocally to sing. It is a very difficult song to sing. He's going really up high into the stratosphere in that falsetto register, and it just amazes me every single time. Belgium is not known for good staging. However, if they don't fuck it up this time, I could see them getting a really strong result. For me, I gotta give it an A. Next up is Spain. So I think ever since Loreen won Eurovision, which was not that long ago, the pop girlies have kind of, you know, they've been struggling in the competition. And I think it's because it's a really competitive world to exist in the Eurovision space. You know, we saw Loreen in an LED sandwich. We saw Chanel doing dance moves while singing like it was better than a Super Bowl performance. Same thing with Noah Carell. It was absolutely incredible. And you know, now we're starting to see the cracks in the concrete. Last year we got some pop girlies, and a lot of them did not do well despite giving very solid performances. These are songs I think, you know, you would have put in the competition 5 years ago, and I think they would have done a lot better. I think Spain is kind of representative of that, because right now in the betting odds, she's like 30th. And mind you, she's giving impressive, impeccable vocals, especially in a song that is very difficult to sing, all while dancing like there's no freaking tomorrow. She's sweating like Usain Bolt after a triathlon, and still not in the top 15 in the betting odds. For me, I like this song. I love the vocals, I love the dancing, I love the spectacle of it all, I love the fireworks, I love the drama, the passion, and on top of all of that, it feels very authentic to Spain too. I mean, the song is literally called Essa Diva. Out of all the 37 songs at Eurovision 2025, I gotta say, from me, this is definitely one of the 3 most underrated in my books. But you know what? Being underrated is not that bad of a thing. Conchita 2014 wasn't even in the top 15 in the betting odds, and look what happened there. I'm praying that there's gonna be good staging, because I think as a performer, she is very, very strong, and I'm going to, I'm gonna cross my fingers on this one. So we're gonna put Spain in the B category. It's a solid entry. Next up is the lovely lesbian forest fairy princesses from Latvia. I don't know why I say lesbian. I don't know if they're lesbians, but I like imagining that in my head. It makes it more fun. Now, this song is unique, but there's always a song in Eurovision every year that just makes me feel like I am tripping out on some sort of hardcore drug. It makes me feel free, it makes me feel like I'm floating on air, uninhibited, and dare I say, it is the most unique song in 2025, and on top of that too, I don't think we've had a song like this ever at Eurovision. Right now, the song is like 4th to last in the betting odds. It makes me want to pull my hair out. I am so enraged. It is definitely one of my favorites of the year. It is so transfixing, and the vocals are absolutely stunting. Call me crazy, but I really think that when we get to Eurovision, the staging coming together with the vocals and the performance, I just think this is going to be something that is going to be so spellbindingly beautiful that it's going to be impossible for people to ignore. I'm advocating. I'm watching myself. I'm getting like amped up, but I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated that people are not giving this its flowers that it deserves. But yeah, I'm convinced this is going to do a lot better. I am praying to the Eurovision Latvian gods above that this does qualify for the final, because I think truly it is such an underrated gem. As you can tell, I absolutely hate the song, so it's gonna go in the... No, I'm kidding. I am obsessed with this. This is my very first S category tier entry. Next up is Cyprus. So Cyprus, the last couple of years, they've been doing a similar thing where it's like always a pop song. It's always done by someone who is better looking than Jesus Christ himself. And I'm getting a little bored of that. Not, I mean, the good looking, I mean, like, yeah, I'm not going to be like hot phobic or whatever the fuck, but like, it's just always the same type of vibe lately. I can't deny the fact that I don't mind this song. The production is a little over-caffeinated at points, it's a little overexcited, a little bit of a mishmash of too many sounds, but overall, I think it's really interesting. I do think it is taking risks in some respects. The verses where he's kind of like talking in a really weirdly but like somewhat melodic way. I don't know what's happening, but it is interesting to listen to nonetheless.
I've been told I am a little overconfident.
And the voice is impressive in the studio. Now, whether or not he can tackle that live, I'm still not 100% sure. I haven't heard anything that's like really convincing me. So yeah, that's gonna be key here because obviously in the studio version, he's hitting some really high notes. Overall, I'm getting a little tired of Cyprus kind of relying on the same shit every single year, minus maybe Andrew Lambrou who did a ballad. But yeah, I'm getting a little tired of that, but it's a decent entry. I'm gonna give it a C. Next up is Germany. Now my therapist says that I should not focus too much on the negative things, so I'm not going to. We're gonna make this short and quick. I don't like this. It feels a little lazy to me. It kind of feels, yeah, a little like Charlie XCX, but like in not a good way. I don't consider this to be singing, and maybe that's not what they're going for. I don't consider this to be rap, singing. I don't know what genre this really fits under, but I just do not love it. On top of that too, when the song is just so incredibly lackluster and emotionless for me, watching it then have a staging where like an instrument is being banged, I'm just like, I guess you think you need that maybe because there's not much else going on here. Ooh, harsh, but yeah, you get the point. I'm giving it an F. Next up is Croatia.
Oh, so nice.
Take a bite of my poison.
I feel bad because Germany I just was not so kind to, and get ready Croatians because you're not gonna like what I have to say about this either. Now I wanted to like this. I saw Marco getting a lot of abuse online, so when I reacted and I did my reaction video to this song, I think I was just in the mindset of like, you have to frickin' like this. Maybe in retrospect, you know, I look back and I don't think I was really thinking of those things consciously. I think it was more subconscious, but like, this song is not that good. What is so heartbreaking for me is Marco actually had an unbelievable song in the national final for Croatia a couple of years ago, and that would have been like right up there in like the top 5 for me this year. I get it, it's trying to be jarring, you know, you have those really cutesy moments that are upbeat and then you go into that really dark moment that is like very low and mysterious, but there's nothing about it that feels cohesive. And I get it, yeah, as I said, they're probably going for that, but like if I think of The Code with Nemo, they're fusing rap, they're fusing pop, they're fusing opera into one song, and at the end of the day, they're tying it up with a red ribbon, and I'm sold. But with this, it just feels like everything is so disjointed, it feels weird, it feels like it's just intentionally trying to grab my attention without actually having any sort of like impact. I will say he's very talented. Like the vocals when they're good and when he's not sick, obviously like he was in his national final, the vocals are strong. But aside from that, I just think it's going to be one of the bigger falls from grace for a country at Eurovision, having come in second last year, because I can't see this qualifying this year. So yeah, you guessed it, no surprises here, it's an F. Next up is Montenegro. Now Montenegro is our most unlucky country at Eurovision 2025, and here is why. I can't remember exactly where they are in the running order, but they're definitely either performing second or third in the semi-final, and on top of that too, they are the country that has like very few friends. I think their only friend in the semi-final is Serbia. That is so bleak. What's even worse is the fact that Montenegro is a country where like this is a very big expense to come to Eurovision. They've sat out for the last couple of years and now they've decided to put their hat back in the ring. And unfortunately, I'm so sad to say that there is very little chance that this is qualifying for the final. Let's get into the song though. First of all, I think it's a huge risk to have a song with like a 30-second intro. It builds up the drama, but then it kind of just dips because it leads into the first verse, which is like very mellow. Her voice is incredible. There's not anything that I could say negative about her voice. I love the gravelly tone. She hits all the notes with precision, and it is a beautiful song. I mean, the melody is kind of one of those songs where despite it being a ballad, it's kind of easy to sing along to. It's quite memorable, but by the same token, it's not pushing boundaries. Overall, it's a pleasant song to listen to. It's easy listening. I don't think it's one of those songs where anyone could listen to it and be like, that is abhorrent. But like, yeah, it's kind of just there. As someone who brands himself as the bitch for Balkan ballads and big vocals, I gotta say, like, this is not stirring as much in me as I would have hoped, and as a result, I'm gonna give it a C. Next up is Ukraine. Now, the fandom is not really going crazy for Ukraine this year. There's not been a lot of hype surrounding this entry, and I think that's absolutely wild to think of because I cannot remember a year at Eurovision where Ukraine wasn't a frontrunner. Personally, I like my Ukrainian Beatles. I think it's super fun. It's harking back to the 70s. They've got great voices. I love the transition from his voice, which is super powerful, and there's upper register belts, then going into that very beautiful angelic songbird voice. The lyrics are not groundbreaking. If anything, I'd actually say that they're probably some of the weaker English lyrics in the competition this year. Overall, I like the song, but I'd probably give it... Is it another C? Yeah, it's another C. Next up is Switzerland. Now, this is not my cup of tea typically. I do not gravitate towards these types of entries where, you know, there's not really like a moment or strong vocals. It's kind of just a little bit, you know, pleasant. But there is something so beautiful, almost like Sarah McLachlan-esque about this song that it really captures my attention. There's a lot of really interesting things that happen in the production with this one. I think the bridge is especially unique, really captivating. Do I think it's going to do incredible at Eurovision? No. But our girl Zoe Moe, she's impressive. And you know what? For someone who typically doesn't like these types of entries that are kind of just more simplistic, I was definitely captivated. I was sold. And this for me is a B. Next up is Iceland. Now, if you don't know, I had a song in Iceland's national final. Yes, I'm talking about it again. But for those who are not aware, I did. So you would think I would be very bitter about Iceland's entry because it's not my entry. However, we persevere, we rise above, and I have to admit it, I like the song. Do I think it was better than Burgo? Abso-fucking-lutely not. That is my bitch, that is my ride or die. I will fight anyone who thinks that that was not a better entry. However, this is quite good. It's kind of like if Marcus and Martinez had a baby with Jedward, this would be the vibe, would be the product. It is so fun, it is so light, it makes you forget about the world. It makes you forget about the fact that Trump just put like 60% tariffs on my country. So you know what? I like it. That violin section, that is probably my favorite instrumental of Eurovision 2025. That is so addicting. An asteroid could hit Earth and it could wipe out everything that I've ever known. Family, friends, dogs, pets, whatever. And I could listen to that and I think my dopamine levels would be restored. So yeah, with that being said, I think it would probably be a B+, but nonetheless, it is a B. It's not the S that I would have given Burgo, obviously, despite my bias, because that song is absolutely amazing and she's the best singer in the entire country, but it is a B. Next up is Norway. Now, like, this kid is gotta be one of the most talented young people to come out of Eurovision over the last couple of years. Kinda reminds me of Celia Capsis. Can you dance? Check mark. Can you sing? Check mark. I don't know what factory these children are coming out of, but I just watch them in awe. Like, I feel like part of me is like a proud parent, and then the other part of me is like, damn, I am so inferior. Either way, Kyle Alessandro is doing the most out here. The dance moves, as I said, incredible. This is not an easy song to sing, and he does it like every single time in just such a jaw-dropping way. He's just in my good books generally because he said a nice thing about Burgo, and that goes a long way for me. And so I am a fan. Norway is an A. Also, separate side note, if the audience at Eurovision does not go, Norway, Norway, when he sings that part, I will throw a fit and I'll be very disappointed. All of y'all who are going to Basel, whatever, I beg. Next up is Israel. New day will No matter what I do with this entry, people are going to be upset. If I put it as an F, Israelis are going to come for me. They're going to hang my head. If I put it as an S, then a lot of the fandom is going to say I'm the worst person ever, blah, 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 whatever. I can't win. I'm just going to give my honest opinion. I like this song. Is it an S? No. Is it an F? No. It's somewhere in between. But this is undeniably a strong entry. What is so crucial for a good ballad at Eurovision is that the listener is taken on a journey. And with Israel this year, they really are, because it starts off very soft, very slow, very melodic, and then there is that climax at the end of the song where the vocals are pushing, the production is loud. It's really, really solid. Also, I won't complain when we're getting 3 languages in a song. We're getting Hebrew, English, and French. I love it. She's also undeniably a top 5, top 10 at least vocalist in the competition this year. So I hope that juries will reward her. I think the televote absolutely will. And so for me, I'm gonna give this an A. Next up is San Marino. Now, I don't know if anyone knows this. Like, I'm sure some of you do, but I did not know this until recently. This is the same guy who made that iconic hit from the 90s called, what is it called? Blue? I'm blue, I'm blue, that one. So you would think it would be really good, obviously. I am not obsessed with this entry though. It's a little repetitive, it's a little juvenile. It's just too like simplistic. I can't explain it. When I watch a DJ just like mime on stage and you know that's what it is at Eurovision, it sends chills down my spine. I hate it. Like, yes, I know Alexander Rybak was obviously not playing the violin when he represented Norway in 2009, but for some reason, it's different when it's a DJ doing nothing. Because they're not singing. They're not doing anything. They're just providing vibes, I guess, while miming. And it's overall, there's no other way to describe this for me except for basic. Like, it is just extremely, extremely basic. It doesn't take away from the fact that it is somewhat enjoyable, but I'm not jumping up and down for this, and I can't imagine many people out there are. So for me, it's gonna be our first, I can't believe this is our first, but it's gonna be our first D category. Next up is Italy. Now, I've said this once, I'll say it 1,000 times again. Italy could take a shit on stage, and for some reason, people will still eat it up. Yes, I think Italy has had some strong entries in the past. The last couple of years have been particularly good. However, when I think of something like Brividi, like, those live vocals were absolutely abhorrent. But Italy still managed somehow to get an absolutely incredible result, and I think they secured a top 10 finish. As a studio cut, I actually think this is Italy's worst entry in over a decade. However, shocker, wow, Italy is somehow 13th in the betting odds. They could do no wrong. They could do no wrong. I think out of all the songs this year, this is probably the only one. I couldn't sing it to you. I don't remember the melody. I don't remember anything about this. It is so forgettable for me. All I know is it's a man who painted his face white. It wasn't offensive in the way that for me like Germany and Croatia are, but it's certainly not a strong entry, and for that reason, I'm gonna also put it in D. Next up is Portugal. Now this is a sweet song. It's easy to listen to, it's very inoffensive, but at the same time too, this is not taking any risks whatsoever. I feel like I could be in Lisbon working at a cafe and this would be playing in the background. I would not think twice. In fact, take me to like a jazz bar in Lisbon and this could be an act where they're actually performing live and I still think I would be like zoned out and focused on something else. So yeah, not my personal cup of tea, but also I just don't think it's a strong entry overall. It doesn't grab people's attention, and in a sea of 37 songs this year, you have to stand out in some capacity, and this just is not doing it. So from 0 Ds to now 3 Ds in a row, I'm putting Portugal in that category. Next up is Sweden. Now yes, this is a heavy hitter. It's number 1 in the betting odds with like a 28% chance of winning. Big shocker, Sweden once again comes in with a very strong entry. However, it's not a pop song. Well, I mean, it is a pop song. Why are people saying this is so different? I guess, yes, Sweden has never sent a joke entry. Just editing the video and I realized joke entry, using that phrase over the past couple of years has gotten me in a lot of trouble. It's not a joke entry, how dare you, you should go kill yourself. Maybe not joke entry, maybe fun act, novelty act, whatever makes you feel comfortable about what Sweden is doing this year, just insert that. Replace that with what I just said when I said joke entry. But for me, a lot of people are acting as if this is revolutionary for Sweden, when in reality, it's still a pop song. It's kind of giving me like a North Korean Kim Jong-un propaganda-esque song. You'd have told me like 5 years ago that this song would win Eurovision or do really well at Eurovision in 5 years, I would say you're a liar, because I don't think it's like particularly, groundbreaking. It's certainly not bad. I just think we're in a weaker year and that's why it's sitting at the top of the betting odds. However, it's definitely not my favorite. It's a good entry, and for that reason, good deserves to be in the B category. And that's where we're putting it. Next up is Czechia. Kiss, kiss. Now, Czechia is an interesting one for me because I relate to this song. It is about a kid whose dad leaves him and I guess doesn't see him again. And I, have the same story. So yeah, it's always good for a listener to feel connected to the singer in some way, and maybe that's kind of, you know, influencing my decision to some degree, but I am very much on board with their entry this year. It's sophisticated pop, it's well produced, it's radio friendly, it's commercial, it's all of the above. But it's not like a lot of Eurovision pop songs where it's kind of difficult to find the emotion in the entry. There's a lot of emotion here. He sings with passion. And then the dance break, which is really fun, really light. It kind of is giving me like, you know, I'm singing at one point about the hardship of my experience. It's really sad. It's a little bit more in the feels. And then we get to that choreo part where it's like, well, that's my past. This is my future. I'm having fun. I'm overcoming. Overall, I'm a fan. I like the song. And it's in the A category. Next up is the United Kingdom. Now this is just fun. This song really feels like Queen, you know, at certain points it's really slow and then it changes in pace and the tempo increases and then it goes back to being slow again. I love that journey that it's taking us on. On top of that too, every single time that they perform live, it's really, really good. Their voices blend so well together. The harmonies are chef's kiss. Is it really stirring a strong emotion in me? Not particularly, but I think it is a very solid entry. It is the UK, we'll see how they stage it, but for me, it is a B. Next up is Austria. If you follow me on socials like Instagram, TikTok, whatever, I've been hyping this up like there's no tomorrow. Austria's just got it all. Like, it is giving so much drama. It is giving so much talent. It is giving a storyline that makes you feel. Let's dissect this all. So first off, obviously goes without saying, to have a male vocalist sing that high, are we breaking records here? Also two, this is standing out because how often do we get a song that is fully in opera? Actually, not fully, because at the very end, we then get this like interesting EDM house type of vibe, and it fuses in a very, very authentic way, and I am here for it. The next person that I hear say, this is just like the code.
Bitch, are you dumb?
Pardon me?
Are you dumb?
I think she's dumb. I think she's dumb.
No, this is actually not. You need to clean your ears or you need to get better educated about what music is, because the code was so different in every way. The code was uplifting. It was happy. It was like, I have found myself. Wasted Love is depressing. It is dark. It is very mysterious. And the tempo is just so slow comparatively. They're different entries. I rarely really like focus on lyrics in a song, but I think the lyrics in this song are really strong. I mean, at the very beginning, it grabs your attention. I'm an ocean of love and you're scared of water. The fuck? Best song in my opinion at Eurovision 2025, and that's why I'm putting it in the A, no, just kidding, the S category. Next up is Serbia. Now this man, just the look of him, he reminds me so much of like Fabio, that like archetype that sits on the cover of every single romance novel that horny mothers across the world read. He literally looks like the human version of that. But aside from that, let's get to the song. I would go so far as to say that I think he has one of the top 5 strongest male voices in the competition this year. It's just unfortunate that the song is bad. Okay, I'm not gonna say it's bad, but it's incredibly, incredibly dated. This is a song that we would have heard at Eurovision 2003, and we would have went, that's a good song. Eurovision 2025, it's no longer, like, no, I'm sorry, goodbye. It is a shame though, because I think, as I said, he is such a strong vocalist, stronger than a lot of even vocalists I would say that are, you know, maybe in the S or A categories potentially, but he just didn't get the best song. For that, I'm giving him a C. Next up is Denmark. This is really up my alley. I will not deny, like, yeah, this might not be a lot of people's cup of tea, but this is so for me. Watching Trisha Paytas on stage sing a girl bop, like, I'm gay. Like, I'm sold. Yes, obviously. Give me a ticket. As I've said in this video already, I am a bitch for big vocals, and if there's anyone serving that this year more than, I think, any other entry, it would be Sissel, I still don't know how to pronounce her name, but the girl from Denmark. This is one of those songs, if it came on at the Euro Club or a nightclub in Toronto, which it never would because I live in Canada and no one knows what Eurovision is, I would literally, like, I don't even think you understand. I would make such an embarrassment of myself. It's such a bop. It is so infectious. The melody just seeps into your bones, into your veins, and you feel it like nothing else. There's not much more to say. I'm captivated by this one. I absolutely love it. I love a strong voice. I love a sophisticated pop number at Eurovision, and to me, this is doing it in a very, very strong way. Congratulations, Denmark. It's an obvious S. Next up is the Netherlands. Netherlands in pretty much every respect it's a good entry. A good singer with a good song and a good melody. The only issue with that is it's not taking any risks whatsoever, and there's nothing really groundbreaking or memorable. Not saying it's going to do bad. There's a lot of people that like these more simplistic entries, but once again, we're talking about the Eurovision Song Contest. And yes, there's always those people in the comments that are like, but what about Salvador Sobral? Yes, that's a little bit of an anomaly though, just because in that year, there were so many high impact entries and Salvador kind of just sat there and sang and there was nothing else. With the Netherlands, it's not that type of song. It's kind of just middle of the road, coasting. It's good, it's solid, but yeah, I'm not as excited as I think some other people are. On top of that too, like it's one thing to have a song called Voilà at Eurovision, which is a very basic French word, but then, you know, you listen to the lyrics in its entirety and it's more deep than that. But with the Netherlands this year, it just feels like every French lyric that they use is like the most widely understood, internationally recognized words from the French language. C'est comme si, c'est comme ça, c'est la vie, un, deux, trois, la mélodie. I'm not doing anything super impactful lyrically. I think the strongest thing selling this is Claude. He's a great singer. He's got tons of charisma that we can see from the live performances, from the music video, and that boosts this up a little bit, but for me, it's a B. Next up is Australia.
You want a taste of the milkshake, man?
Now, I don't know, you guys. Is it my hormones or is it my ears? I don't know what's talking, but I like this. Eurovision songs, the main thing that they're trying to evoke in us is any emotion, sadness, despair, happiness, excited, whatever it may be. And Australia this year is it's stirring up a whole milkshake inside of me. I'm excited, I'm intrigued, there's a bit of mystery in the music, I'm horny, I'm all of the above. The production is really unique. I mean, we're getting sounds that we don't get in other Eurovision songs. It kind of is giving like Halloween vibes. It's creepy and sinister. Yeah, Gojo is messing with my mojo, and I think I'm not alone when I say I think we all want a taste or a visit from the Milkshake Man. Personally, this is another B. Azerbaijan is up next. Now this song is kind of giving me like Maroon 5 meets Mika meets like an up-tempo James Blunt song maybe. He's one of those male vocalists that just enjoys singing in that falsetto register, and it's a very commercial, radio-friendly song. I'd say right up there with Iceland, that instrumental part, dopamine, serotonin, oxy, all of the good hormones, all of the good neurotransmitters, they're doing a number on my brain. My main criticism for the song, which is a huge criticism for the song, is the fact that it goes nowhere. The first chorus to the last chorus, there's been nothing to change it up. There's been no climax. There's been no build up. There's been nothing. And so it kind of just sits there. It's good. It's easy listening. It's likable, but that's not enough. And because of that, I'm going to put Azerbaijan in the C category. Next up is Armenia.
I'm a survivor.
Now Armenia, you know, I just compared Azerbaijan to a bunch of different famous artists. Armenia is definitely giving me Imagine Dragons. I feel like there are so many Imagine Dragons songs that sound like this. I've heard this on the radio, I swear to God, you know, where the verses are very wordy and then the chorus is just like one word that's repeated. Make me a believer, I'm a survivor. Park is a great performer. He has a great voice. You know, he could enunciate it a little bit more in the verses, but overall, I'm definitely convinced because he has a lot of passion when he's singing, and he's one of the performers this year in the competition where you could just tell he's feeling it all. He loves the song that he's performing. That's a huge plus in my books. It's always fun to watch that. With that being said, the song is generic. We've heard it a million times before on the radio, and so Armenia is a C. Next up is Lithuania. I love our Lithuanian Kurt Cobain. It's angsty, it's emo, it's emotional. I am feeling it. This song is one of those that's like the classic example of a song that takes us on a journey. The very beginning, very dark. You know, he's just kind of like doing his little mumbles. And at the very end, he's like wailing. He is like in agony. You could feel it transmit through the TV screen. The wailing, the agony to the just angst part of it where he is shouting in your face, Tavo, Tavo, Tavo. And I'm back here saying bravo, bravo, bravo. Of all the Eurovision 2025 entries, I think this is the most emotional of them all, and I reward that. I think this is a very solid entry, and for me, Lithuania is an A. Next up is Poland. So this is our oldest performer this year. And our oldest performer has decided that she's gonna mime playing an instrument on the stage while then singing these insane belty upper register notes while then swinging up into the air and dancing like a maniac. I am sold. Instrumentation is so fun, it's unique. We're getting some really weird instruments that we don't hear at Eurovision often. It feels authentically Polish. She has an absolutely incredible, very, very broad vocal tone. I soak up every minute of it. It's one of those songs that you cannot take your eyes off of. And you know, with some of these, some of these songs in full are like they're like a shit break for me. So for me to be completely consumed for 3 minutes, not wanting to look at anything else but the performance, that's a huge compliment considering the fact that I live on TikTok and my attention span is that of a goldfish. So Poland, you're an A. Next up is Finland. Similar to Austria, Finland is drama. It's not just drama though, it's a little like porn. It's a super catchy song. I mean, the chorus having those really boisterous background vocals come through, it's so addicting to listen to. It's super enjoyable. It's a great pop number, and it's not just like your everyday pop number. Also at the end where they switch up the tempo and they just like take you in a new direction, the da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. I live. It builds up the intensity, the blood pressure is increasing, and that's what I want from Eurovision. I want to be at the edge of my seat, and Erika Vikman is definitely doing that. It doesn't hurt to also mention the fact that like the vocals are very strong. It's not an easy song to sing, and she's doing it all while being raised on a microphone that is sprouting fireworks from its asshole. I love it. I love it all. And so Finland is an A. Next up is Luxembourg. This is a cute song. There's not really much to say about it aside from the fact that it's enjoyable to listen to. You know, she has a decent voice. The melody, it's good. It's kind of like our most average song at Eurovision this year. It's probably not a good thing that I can't really think of much more to say about this entry, but I'm happy that it's here. It's just not doing much for me. It's a C. Next up is Slovenia. Now with Serbia, I said he's one of the top 5 male vocalists of the year. I would also put Slovenia in that category, but I think he's also been afflicted by the same condition, which is the fact that the song is just, ugh. Obviously the message is really, really like impactful, and it's kind of like a good lesson for people to really value the time that we have with our loved ones. But at the same time, I feel like he's really giving a lot to us vocally in the song. There is a journey from the vocal melody, but from the production itself, like there's basically no change at all that happened. But this could be one that like really changes with staging. You never know. I remember Lithuania a couple years ago with When We're Old, and that was kind of the same type of, sad vibes. Staging changed things. Like there was something that came alive on stage, and maybe with Slovenia we'll get the same thing that happens, but for me, I'm not a fan of this song. It really is just not doing much production wise, and so it's a D. Next up is Estonia. Now, I know there's tons of Johnny Cash, Tommy Cash, Johnny Cash, Tommy Cash fans out there, and so they will come for me, but this is just so not my cup of tea. It feels like it's trying too hard to be funny, and I don't find anything funny about it. I hate using this word because it is so like Gen Z, and I'm not in that generation. It's not my word, but it's cringe. Don't get me wrong, there's an audience for it. My 4-year-old nephew, when I was in New Jersey visiting my family members, he loved it. He ate it up. He was laughing, and it's catering to that. It's catering, dare I say, to the lowest common denominator. Love my nephew, but he's not the sharpest tool in the drawer right now. His brain cells are in the oven. They're cooking. My point is, I think Espresso Macchiato is not a song that I think has like an actual strong sense of humor. It feels very lazy. The melody is lazy. It's super, super simple. I could literally create this in GarageBand, I feel like, in like 10 minutes. I think there's something to be said. I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna say it. You could drag me for saying it, but like this is the easiest song to sing in the competition this year. Very simple. Why does it seem so difficult when he's performing it live? I'm going in on him right now. On top of that too, just having him like talk about Italian culture and whittling it down to like spaghetti and espresso macchiato, and he's doing that accent. It's grating, it's cringe, it's not for me. Tell us how you really feel. Yeah, so I gotta be real. I know people like this. For me, it's an F. Next up is France. A lot of people were expecting big things from France. And I think a lot of people still are quite excited about it. It's number 3 in the odds, but I'm just not convinced. It's a pretty song. I like the post-chorus, that's quite nice, but I just feel like the live vocals have been pretty weak. At some points it's a little whiny, at some points it's a little flat, at some points it's a little sharp. What I will say is, despite the fact that we do have some vocal issues every now and then, she does perform the song with a lot of passion, a lot of emotion, and that always comes through. We don't always need a perfect vocal. I'll make my prediction now and say it's third in the odds currently. I do not think it's going to come close to that. I think it'll be outside of the top 5. And so for all of those reasons, I'm putting it in the C category. Next up is Malta. Malta's solid.
I do it all the time. Serving.
I think the tricky thing with Malta is the fact that obviously when the song was called Serving, it was gonna do a lot better than it is now. I think it was relying on that, but at the same time, she's still a very solid singer and it's a decent pop number. However, we did see that last year with Sarah Bonici from Malta. Very good singer, decent pop number. The staging was absolutely incredible, and it came literally dead last in the semifinal, as I previously said. Malta's one of those countries that really just struggles at Eurovision in the televote, and now that we have pure televote semifinals, which we should get rid of, but now that we still have it, I'm kind of nervous for this. I think the song also has a really great message too. You know, like, why should we care about what other people think? We're gonna do us, and we're gonna have a good time, be confident, and believe in ourselves. There's no better message for a Eurovision audience than that. For me, I'm gonna put it in the B category. Next up is Greece. Greece, I'm gonna say, gives us the most solid female vocal in the competition this year. Every single time she performs it, she sings the high notes well, the low notes well. She executes those runs with precision. It's just a little bit of a shame for me that the song is not that interesting to listen to. I fear this is still, despite it being different, it's a little, could be forgettable. Right now there's an equal number of B's and C's, but we're gonna change that right now because this is gonna go in the C category. And finally, Georgia.
Living my life with my smile.
Another very strong female vocalist, like, yeah, top 5 female vocalist in the competition this year. But she falls into the same, you know, issue that happens with Serbia and with, who's the other guy? Slovenia. Great, great voice, but the song, those lyrics are some of the most ridiculously generic peace, peace, love, love. I mean, this is literally what Petra Mid and Måns Zelmerlöw made fun of at Eurovision with love, love, peace, peace. It doesn't go in any interesting directions. The only thing selling this is her. Like, literally the only thing selling this. I want to put it at almost F, but I don't think it's that bad because, as I said, the voice is still pleasant, and so we're gonna put it in the D. Woo! Okay, 94 minutes later, we are done. Oh my god, I feel like my voice is honestly giving out. Yeah, so for me, obviously my favorites are Latvia, Austria, and Denmark, but I also am obsessed with Belgium, Norway, Israel, Czechia, Lithuania, Finland, and Poland. I wouldn't say it's the strongest year. In fact, I would probably say it's the maybe like top 3 weakest year since I've been watching Eurovision since 2009. But it's Eurovision. No matter what, you can give me like absolutely horrific songs and I will still eat up every moment of the season. I'm loving doing these videos. As I said, I'm gonna try and aim to do 3 a week. That is my goal, so feel free to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, like this video, and leave a comment in the comment section below in terms of your thoughts on my thoughts. And yeah, we'll go from there. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye.